Hey guys, V. Rigoni, Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. Let's smash that like button. Let's subscribe to the channel. Let's leave some comments. We've been talking about financial freedom. We've been talking about trading your time for money. Why is that important? What is the whole deal? If you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you've got this dream of always wanting to be a CPA, fine. You can work for yourself. You can still control your time. Controlling your time. Being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Yes, will you have to grind? You're darn right. Are you going to have to work harder than you ever had before? Most likely, and longer. This is simple. It's not easy. But the payoff is insane. The payoff is you owning your life. Because right now, if you're going to work, your employer owns your life 40 to 60 hours a week. Now, if you're happy with that, no problem. I wasn't. I was never happy with that. When I was 19 years old, going to school, I worked for Sears. Well, Sears don't even work anymore. They're gone. They wanted me in their management training program. And one summer, I sold more maintenance agreements on lawnmowers for a small store than they had ever seen. They came to me. They said, hey, you want to go into our management training program? I said, hey, you want to finish paying for my college? They said, no. I said, no. Best decision I ever made. Because I didn't want to go up that corporate ladder at Sears. It was a disaster. What about you? What are you doing? Do you want to be punching that clock every day, working the first shift, second shift, third shift? If your whole desire in life has always been you want to be a nurse, fine, great, go do it. Trade your time. It's your career. It's what you live for. But if you're not living for your job, and I don't know how many people in this world are actually living for their job. I can't imagine it's too many. Do you want to gain your time? Do you want to own your time? Do you want to be your person? Or do you want to continue to rely on getting a paycheck? Because we've seen what's happening here, guys. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Do you find yourself doing that? And if you do, you're going to tell me you love it, or does it suck? Because in my world, it sucks. On top of it, most people are sitting there trying to save for their retirement in their 401ks and their IRAs, and they're told, yes, just keep putting money away for the next 30, 40 freaking years, and then maybe you're going to have enough money to retire on if it's all been invested properly, because you're the one responsible now for making sure that your 401k is properly allocated and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And if you go based upon what the baby boomers are doing, and why are we talking about the baby boomers? Because remember, most baby boomers became adults in the late 70s and early 80s. 401ks came into play around 86, IRAs around 86. They've been in these programs for years. And they even allow them for what they call a catch-up contribution to be able to put more money in. And they have nowhere near the amount of money they're going to need to retire. Is that where you want to go? Is that where your life's going to be? Are you going to sit there and have to beg the government for that Social Security check? Let alone the fact that that's supposed to be broken 2034. That's right. Let me say it again. Social Security is supposed to be broke in 2034. So if you're relying on that, you might be screwed, because they're already talking about dropping that maybe by 25%. You might say, well, I'm really far away from Social Security. I get it. But how are you going to get your freedom? Are you just waiting around for 40 years and then retire? Or if you're a cop, you're going to wait around for 25, 20 years and then hope that the municipality that's going to pay your retirement, or the state that's going to pay your retirement, doesn't file bankruptcy sometime? Because that's what you're relying on. What is financial freedom? It's the freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, because your bills are all getting paid. Your lifestyle is being paid for. Now, does that mean you have to go out and be able to want to spend tons of money, drive the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, you want to have a boat, you want to have a private plane? Well, yes, for a very small percentage of people, they're not satisfied until they get all that. But let me go to all the other side of the spectrum. It's that book, The Millionaire Next Door. My father was the millionaire next door. He didn't buy any of that shit, but he had his time. He had his financial freedom. I remember at 5 years old, and I'm watching my parents play tennis in the middle of the day. Well, that's what was important to him. It wasn't cars. He bought one brand new car his entire life. It wasn't travel. He didn't like to travel. He just knew that he didn't have to go to work because he secured his financial freedom. And he did that before he was 40 years old. That was what he wanted. Now, I know that is what people used to think about financial freedom was, but now we've blown this whole thing up to where you got to have the Ferrari, you got to have the Lamborghini, you got to fly private. I'm looking to buy one of those cars myself, but that isn't what financial freedom is all about. That's the spoils, as they used to say, right? When you win the battle, you got the spoils. That's winning the financial freedom. And if you want to have that kind of car, you're generating the necessary portfolio income to do that, to go buy the car, to travel, to be able to say, hey, let's go to Vegas this weekend. Let's go to the Bahamas next week. And you don't have to say, well, I have to call my employer because I'm going to see if I can get a couple extra days because I've used up most of my vacation. Hell, that's the way you want to live your life? No problem. Most Americans are living their life today that way. And you may be living your life that way today. But I'm trying to teach you there is another way. You don't always have to work for the man. You can be working for yourself. And I don't mean you're slaving away in a hot garage as a mechanic and you're doing that. Because trading your time for that is bullshit too. I'm talking about if you're a mechanic, is that you've got a custom mechanic shop or you're doing something, you might be going in there and doing some of the management. You might be doing the managed income thing. In the beginning, yes, you might be cranking some wrenches, but you're going to do it in a way in which you can then bring in your own manager and you can then start, doing what you want to do. Now, if after you've gained your freedom from that job and you still want to go in there and you still want to work on a custom car or you want to do whatever it is you want to do because you love being a mechanic, that's on you. That's up to you. You've gained your financial freedom. Financial freedom does not mean that you can go buy a jet. It does not mean you're worth $100 million. And I know everybody wants to be a billionaire. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Well, you can gain your financial freedom with the income that's basically coming off of $3 to $4 million. Now, does that mean cash in the bank? No, that means assets in which are worth $3 to $4 million, generating you cash flow in which that is then beginning to pay for your living expenses. Now, if you want to blow up your lifestyle, what I mean by that is you want the cars, you want the boats, you want all that stuff, no problem. I have a friend who's in real estate, done extraordinarily well. He loves to travel. He doesn't care about the cars. He drives a nice car. He doesn't care about the Lamborghinis and all that stuff. He's not looking to fly private, but he travels all the time with his wife. They're taking 2 to 3 trips a month. They've been to the majority of the countries around the world already. The guy's hardly breaking 35. That's because in real estate, he gained his financial freedom. And then what's important to him was travel. That's really the bottom line. Now, for me, I love to travel. I love to spend time with my son because he's the CEO of our business. What better lifestyle can you have that you're going to do what you want to do? As the co-founder of our company, I don't have to do a damn thing. I can choose to do something on a daily basis, but it's on my time. I get to choose to do it or I don't have to do it. I could just easily be getting on the boat at the marina and we'll take a boat ride if the weather's nice. I could choose to do that. Or I can go golfing because we own the golf course. That's what I love to do. Spend time with my kid. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I choose to live my life. Right? I got other things going on, but I'm talking about your 9 to 5. What are you doing 9 to 5? Maybe you've got a 3-year-old out there right now. Are you checking in at the daycare or do you have to be at work? Who's picking them up? Are they staying in the extended time because you got to work? That's what you're giving up. You're giving up time with your family. You're giving up time doing the things you love to do. That's why what's happening. You're trading your time every single day so you can pay the ComEd bill, so you can pay the gas bill, so you can make the mortgage payment, so you can make the car payment, so you can make credit card payments. That's all bullshit. I mean, seriously, is that what you want to do for the next 40 years? Oh, I thought I was supposed to make a mortgage payment. No. Yes, you can choose to make a mortgage payment, or you can choose to pay off your house, whatever you want. Now, am I one of those people that say you should never own a home? Well, technically, you should never own a home. But there's ways to own a home and ways to structure that home where it's more of a business than it is a house. And you get the benefits from that standpoint. But I am saying, in the beginning, it's a duplex, baby. It's a quad. And then that mortgage is being paid by who? The tenants. So yes, you may have a mortgage payment, but that's what you're doing right now is you're paying the rent payment, the mortgage payment, the car payment, the credit card payment, the student loan. Oh, forgot about the freaking student loan payment. Talk about a yoke around your neck. Do you realize that if you took the cost of a private school and you took that money that they're charging, that you're paying, and you started investing that money when you were 19 years old, within 10 years you'd be financially free or less. So you want the education, or do you want to get rich? Because if you can get rich, that means you're already smart. College is not going to make you smart. It's going to put you in a slot of a career, in a slot of a job that's going to trade your time for money. And again, because people will always send a comment, they'll always say, yeah, but I wanted to be a doctor. God bless you. Doctors have a special place, right? There are certain professions that, yes, in order to participate in that profession, you got to go to college and you got to trade your time for money. But they'll compensate you so well that you get to live a different type of lifestyle than the average person. Same thing with the corporate suite. I know people get rich working for corporations, but you're going to have to be in the corporate suite, or you're going to have to be one of their very top salespeople. How many top salespeople are in this country? How many top corporate suite people getting rich? How many doctors? And truly, how few lawyers are getting rich from being a lawyer? Whether you're punching a clock, or you're on the salary and you're trading your time for money. So if you can see that there's more value in your life than giving it over to a corporation every single day, having to ask for permission as to when you want to go on vacation. Just the whole word vacation, it means that you must vacate. Did you ever look at that? It means to vacate your job, but you have to go back. That's a lot different than going and doing what you want to do when you want to do it for as long as you want to do it. And you might say, well, Vic, yeah, but nobody can stay on vacation forever. Absolutely. But if you want to extend it for a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or whatever, you're not asking for permission. Oh, I don't have to because I'll have extra vacation time. Well, I'm not talking about that. That's bullshit. It's besides the argument, because you had to work the hours to get those vacation days. You're not vacating. You're just living. You want to start living your life. You want to start reaching out and doing something for you and your family. If you want to retire your mom or your dad, making enough income, enough managed passive portfolio income so that your mother, your father doesn't have to go and do what they do to go to work every single day. If that's what's in your heart, then do it. If you want to retire your wife or your husband, go do it. You want your kids in private schools. You want them personally tutored. One of the goals in my life here, will come up soon, is to be able to send my grandkids to not just a private school, but the private schools, that they're creating relationships internationally so we can take this to another level. Because remember, the friends you make, and a lot of the friends you have are the friends you made in school. So we might as well try to make them as high quality as possible. So that's one of the legacies I want to leave behind. What do you want to do today? And then what do you want to do when you're gone? Because that's what being financially free is all about. Financially free is being able to buy your time back. People might say, how do I buy my time back? You've either created a company, a business, you've bought enough real estate as a business so that you're now generating the income. In the beginning, you were there doing the work, doing the landscaping on the properties, and now you're hiring the people to do that. So therefore, you bought your time back even in your own business. But you're creating a business, you're creating a real estate portfolio, so you no longer have to go to work. So you can replace the income and the financial credibility that you currently have with the bank because of the income, so you continue to grow. So once you've reached the amount of money you need in order to maintain your lifestyle without going to work, and you maintain the credibility that you have with the banks, because they do control your leverage in a lot of ways. So when you've replaced all this and you now have your financial freedom, does that mean you're going to be worth $10 million tomorrow? No, but you'll get there if you're young enough. You can apply the time to the return, to the effort, to the wisdom. That's how you're going. Think about it. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be sitting there saying, oh, I love my job. I know. That's great. But there's still financial freedom. Maybe you hate your boss, and that's why you want to be financially free. But then I'll get a comment that'll say, but I love my boss. Okay, but still be financially free and then go take your boss out for lunch. What's wrong with that? So there's all these ways to look at it. You can look at it from the way my father looked at it. He was financially free. He didn't have to go to work. He didn't spend a ton of money. He was actually kind of frugal. Sometimes he was way too frugal. But he got to live his life exactly when he wanted to live. He got out of bed exactly when he wanted to get out of bed. Can you do that? The reality is, when you control your time, whether you want to do it in the way he did it, where he didn't spend a lot of money, where it wasn't about the things that you had to buy, or you do want to buy all those things, or you just want to have the ability to go see your kids play baseball, or watch them at recess, or take them out of school whenever you want to take them out of school and go travel and do what you want to do. with your kids, with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, whatever. That financial freedom. You're not punching the clock. You're not on the salary. Sit out there, guys. Let's make it happen. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Think big. Start small. Move fast.